Wild Bill Hickok, born James Butler Hickok on May 27, 1837, in Illinois, became one of the most iconic figures of the American Wild West. Known for his sharpshooting skills, quick temper, and fearless nature, Hickok quickly earned a reputation as a legendary gunslinger. His early life was marked by hard work and an affinity for hunting, which sharpened his skills with the rifle. By the time he was in his 20s, Hickok had become involved in the Civil War, serving as a scout for the Union Army, where his sharpshooting talents helped him stand out. Hickok's legendary status began to grow after several infamous shootouts. In 1865, he found himself facing off against a man named David Tutt in Springfield, Missouri, over a dispute involving a pocket watch. In one of the most famous gunfights in Wild West history, Hickok shot Tutt dead from 75 yards away, an unbelievable display of marksmanship that cemented Hickok's status as a fearless gunfighter. As time passed, Hickok worked as a lawman, stagecoach driver, and performer in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, but his most notorious years were spent as a lawman and gambler. In the frontier towns, he was both a protector and a target. His skill with a pistol made him a valuable asset when trouble arose, and his name often spread ahead of him as both a warning and a promise of justice. Despite this, Hickok also had a reputation for getting into trouble, and he wasn't averse to using his guns when the situation called for it. In his later years, Hickok moved to Deadwood, South Dakota, a rough mining town filled with outlaws, gamblers, and saloon owners. He sought a quieter life, playing poker in the saloons, but trouble seemed to follow him. On August 2, 1876, Hickok sat at a poker table in saloon number 10, holding a pair of aces and eights, his famous dead man's hand. Behind him, Jack McCall, a disgruntled man who had been previously slighted by Hickok, entered the saloon. Without warning, McCall shot Hickok in the back of the head, ending the life of one of the most feared and respected gunfighters in the West. Hickok's death was a tragic end to a colorful and violent life. His sudden and unceremonious passing left many questions about the nature of his legacy, and the man who had lived by the gun died at the hands of one, in an unexpected moment of vulnerability. McCall was arrested and tried for the murder but was acquitted in the first trial. In a later retrial, McCall was found guilty and hanged for his crime. The story of Wild Bill Hickok quickly spread across the country, cementing his place as one of the West's most legendary figures. His fame only grew after his death, with countless books, films, and songs celebrating his exploits. The dead man's hand became an enduring symbol, a piece of history that would live on as one of the Wild West's most iconic images. Though his life was short, he was only 39 years old at the time of his death. Hickok's impact on the mythos of the Wild West was immense. He embodied the fearless and often violent nature of frontier life. Hickok's story has been passed down for generations, forever entwined with the lore of the West. His courage, skill with a gun, and his tragic end in Deadwood ensure that Wild Bill Hickok's legacy will never fade, and his name remains one of the most famous of the Old West.